Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would everyone please stand? Almighty God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, before we all sit down,
Yep.
can we recognize a moment of silence for Joseph Azcona, a 26-year-old, 5-year veteran of the Newark Police Department who's dead after being shot? And let us remember that all of our police first responders put themselves in harm's way to protect us every day. We thank them for their service and pray for their success, protecting our residents and returning safely home to their families. Thank you.
Statement of publication.
Take notice that this regular agenda meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on this 10th day of March, 2025 has been posted and advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca, Khaleesi.
Here.
Novak. Roberts.
Here.
Sinarski. Zabrowski.
Let the record show that Councilman Balca has an excused absence. He did call in earlier that he was feeling under the weather. That being said, are there any proclamations or presentations?
We have approval of minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Donna, if you, Council President?
I move the following minutes of the mayor and council be approved on roll call vote, subject to correction if necessary, and that would be for the February 24th regular and agenda sessions. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Now I got to do roll call. Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Okay, we do have executive session.
Yes. At this point, time, I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion.
No, I got to read the reso first. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore it be resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey as follows. The public portion of this meeting is hereby adjourned in order that the governing body may meet in closed private session for approximately 30 to 35 minutes, discuss the following matters: attorney-client privilege, litigation, affordable housing, and litigation. Following the conclusion of said closed session, the governing body shall reconvene the open portion of this public meeting to consider any other matters which may be properly brought before it at this time. The nature and content of the discussion which occurs in closed session shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
I'll make a motion to go into closed. Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
Need a motion to reconvene.
I have to wait for the old timers to get back. All right. Take a motion to reconvene.
Make a motion to reconvene.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next item.
Public hearing on the following ordinance, ordinance number 8-25, and ordinance supplementing and amending ordinance 40-23, fixing the salaries of certain borough officials, officers, and employees for the years 2025 to 2027.
At this time, I'll open this to the public for hearing on ordinance 08-25. Anything? Being nothing, who is second?
Councilman Zabrowski.
Councilman Zabrowski, if you would.
Move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Next item.
I did the roll call.
I'm
Councilperson
sorry.
Zabrowski,
Yes.
Delisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Public hearing on ordinance number 9-25 and ordinance supplementing and amending ordinance 3-24, fixing the salaries of certain borough officials, officers, and employees for the years 2025 to 2027.
This time I'll open the public portion for questions or comments on ordinance 09-25. Jim?
Thank you, Mayor. Jim Robinson, Parlin. Looks like I'm the only member of the public here. I guess the 80-year-olds didn't change their clocks. I'm happy to see that the Recreation Department employees will be getting a raise. My only question is this: I see for the junior counselors and the senior counselors, the rate is to be determined with the minimum wage law. I don't think seasonal park counselors are subject to the state minimum wage law. Is that correct? In fact, I know they aren't.
Okay.
So I just think that maybe you want to amend that to reflect a number rather than
Take a look
have
at it,
them
Glenn.
reflect something that they're
All right.
not subject
We'll
to.
take a look at it.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? That being said, Councilman Zabrowski?
I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Zabrowski,
Yes.
Delisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Appointments, Council President?
Yes, I would like to appoint Vijay Shaw to Cultural Arts for a one-year term.
I
Is
move
there a
it,
second?
well, yeah,
Second.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Roberts,
Yes.
Delisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
New business?
Introduction of the following ordinance, ordinance number 10-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance establishing regulations for the planting of bamboo throughout the borough.
Councilman Zabrowski?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on March 24th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Zabrowski.
Yes.
Delisi,
Yes.
Novak.
it's gonna be yes, but if we have a real big problem with bamboo in town,
Yes.
really? Then, okay. I already said.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Roberts.
Done it?
Yes.
Skipped over you, sorry.
It's okay.
Ordinance number 11-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance updating the borough's regulations for borough-sponsored athletic organizations.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Mayor, I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on March 24th.
Is there a second? Roll call?
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Delisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes,
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to open the public portion for questions or comments on resolutions. Jim?
Thank you, Mayor. On the bill list, 2025-71, I see on the bill list, JCP&L is being paid $67,000 for electricity this month. 38,000 of that 67,000 that they're getting paid this month is for streetlights. Now, in order for that bill to be paid, for the streetlights anyway, the administrator has to sign the voucher that says, "I, having knowledge of the facts, certify that the materials and supplies have been received or the services rendered." Have we received all those services? Are all the streetlights that we're paying for on? We all know that streetlights aren't metered, so we pay whether they're on or they're off.
One.
Are we getting $38,000 worth of streetlights this month?
Yeah, for the past few weeks, they've been, this is an ongoing operation, but you've seen them, everybody's seen them. They're replacing them, and they're super bright.
I've seen a few. But
Oh,
there
it's
are,
on, you know,
there are more than
there's a big
that have
list.
gone out since I first started talking about this than have been replaced. And are we still paying for it? I know Councilwoman Novak, you asked a question, should we be paying for lights that aren't on? And I'm asking the same question. And I guess the administrator is certifying that we receive those services. That's pretty serious certification.
I asked the attorney, I asked the attorney to check into it, and as of the last meeting, he still didn't have the answer. Have you found out anything?
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
Yes, I've been looking for, and the reason why is that I didn't have anything at the last meeting is because all we had was an agreement back from 1985.
Yeah.
That appears to be the last agreement that is in place, and we're just operating. While it might have expired by term, we're just operating as a continuation under that. That agreement does allow for us to withhold money when lamps aren't, or streetlights aren't in operation until they are. So that is something that moving forward, we can do, and we will monitor that and see if it's something that, it's necessary when we have a number of
Well,
places.
again, what I had suggested was, give them 30 days, but there are some that have been out probably 6 months. So, if we can get an accounting and anything that's over 30 days, I mean, I say to myself, does Jersey Central pay for things that they don't get? I
Mhm.
bet you they don't. So as a borough.
Well, right
as
now,
long as
the
we can, that's
priority is
great.
Main
Thank you for
Street
finding that.
and Washington. That's a priority.
Good, good. And
Journey no
you
roads.
all might think I'm being pedantic about this or a
No.
pain about this, and you might not take it as seriously as I do, but you wouldn't believe how many people, when I posted about the 9 that I saw that were fixed on Washington Road, either stopped me or texted me, or people I don't know, instant message me for staying on this. So that's why I'm staying on it. We're paying for it. The police chief has said it's a matter of public safety. It ought to be done. And I'm glad that we finally looked into, saw that. I think I had a copy of that 1985 contract, by the way, and that's why I raised the issue about not paying quite a while ago. So, all right, so we'll give them, is that the suggestion? We'll give them a certain amount of days and tell them we're then going to stop paying?
Glenn, I think one of the things too, we did ask for a representative from JCP&L.
Yeah.
I think
All right,
she'll
so-
be here at the next meeting.
So perhaps maybe that's what we should do is when we can engage in that conversation.
Is it definitely at the next meeting? Because I got a letter.
No,
An email from Zach that hasn't been set up yet, so.
Future meeting, but it's in my report and I'll give you the report when we get there.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. This bit of entertainment has been worthwhile then.
Hey, Jim, Jim, I just heard how many lights are out from Green Valley to Dunkin' Donuts on Raritan Street. And I forwarded that to Mike. Mike's in charge of that, not in charge of that, but working with that. And so everybody here is trying to
We're
do
all in
something.
charge of it, Sash. We're all paying
We're
the
trying to
bill.
do something.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you.
This is something that unfortunately proceeds, probably, we started to talk about this 5 years ago. And we really haven't gotten a sufficient, we'll get to it, or it's not the light, it's the wiring, and we have to dig it up. There was always an excuse. So at some point, I thank you very much. I can honestly say, I wasn't here in 1985, so that's not my screw up.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else out there for questions or comments on the resolutions? Being no else, Council President, entertain a motion.
Move the public hearing be closed and the consent agenda resolutions be approved on roll call vote.
Roll call.
You need a second.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Councilpersons Roberts, Khaleesi,
Yes.
Novak,
Yes, except for Jaffe, public information. I wanted some sort of better breakdown as to exactly, what we're getting for that $3,000 a
on the
month.
bill list.
Yes, sorry. Everything else, yes.
Donarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Correspondence.
Need a motion to accept the correspondence as listed?
I make a motion to accept the correspondence as listed.
Second. Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Khaleesi,
Yes.
Novak,
I'm going to abstain this month only because I just got my emails, so I didn't get a chance to read it.
okay. Sinarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
Okay, Mayor and council reports, administration and finance. John, if you would do both.
Progress for administrative and finance, and as far as planning and zoning is concerned, just have a couple of items. One for the adult Active Adult Center. We have two activities coming up in the month of March. One is this Friday, the Basics of Staying Healthy presentation provided by the Middlesex County Office of Health Services. And also we have a free health screening for blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, stroke risk assessment, BMI, and pulse. That's offered by Raritan Bay Medical Center to our residents. That's Friday, March 28th. Both of those events are at 10 a.m. And if you have to register, so please call Jen and her staff at 390-7058. And then finally, as far as planning and zoning concerned, just an update on our fourth round affordable housing obligations. That's still in progress. We did file for a deduction. That matter is moving forward. And my understanding is that the way things are working, we should have some answer probably by the end of March. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Kalasi.
Okay. All right, starting with the fire, the report from the fire chief, currently getting ready for their ISO meeting with the insurance company. They've been busy with fire calls and will be attending the parade in South Amboy on Sunday and have an officers meeting tonight. So when you see them at the parade, say hello. Next, I have the Office of Emergency Management. OEM is actively working on its emergency operations plan, which is due for submission by the end of April. This involves close collaboration with state agencies to ensure a comprehensive and efficient plan. A disaster simulation exercise is scheduled for April 26th, including our CERT team, which stands for Community Emergency Response Team, in which I am a member of. Additionally, OEM is partnering with the Board of Education Safety and Security Team to develop a reunification plan. This includes participating in drills within the schools and making adjustments to improve their approach. Looking ahead, OEM will attend the Emergency Preparedness Conference in April in Atlantic City. This will allow them to renew their training and explore the latest technology to enhance their capabilities. Going forward, I have the police chief's report. So there are a few items listed on here. New Jersey Law Enforcement Entry Exam. It's called the LEE for short. The New Jersey Civil Service Commission is now accepting applications for the law enforcement entry exam until March 31st. So there's just a few days left into that. You'll see them on the signs on our electronic boards out in the streets. So anyone, interested candidates can apply online through the Civil Service Commission website. More details and the registration link are available on the Saraville Police Department social media platform. Second thing I have is a 2024 annual report. So PD is finalizing their first ever annual report, which will offer transparency to the community by highlighting their activities, crime statistics, accomplishments, and initiatives for 2024. This will demonstrate our community to public safety. Next, we have a wellness app launch. It's called Cordico. The department is launching the Cordico Wellness app to support the mental health and well-being of our officers, retired officers, and their families. This app provides confidential 24/7 access to wellness resources, including self-assessments, videos, and local mental health support. It's part of their broader efforts to ensure ongoing wellness throughout our officers' careers. The PD has partnered with Cordico using grant funding from the Department of Justice's Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act. So now I'd like to provide an update regarding the ongoing concerns with JCP&L's electrical service throughout the borough. There were 7 key issues here. So the first one we just touched upon a little bit. Over the past 2 weeks, JCP&L has been working on replacing malfunctioning streetlights throughout the borough. While progress has been made, there is still currently no definitive timeline for full resolution. Additionally, the borough attorney was investigating potential options for withholding payment. We got that answer today, and that's a yes. So temporary submission, substation at Main Street remains in use due to delays in obtaining the necessary parts for permanent repairs. JCP&L has cited back-ordered components as their primary cause for that delay, with some parts potentially taking over a year to arrive. Unfortunately, no firm timeline for permanent repairs has been provided. So many residents have experienced multiple power outages recently, raising concerns about the temporary substation's role. However, JCP&L has stated that the outages are unrelated to that substation, attributing them instead to the external factors such as high winds and falling tree limbs. So our high municipal bills that have been rolling in lately, that included the firehouses and first aid stations, an investigation is underway to determine whether billing errors, unusual usage patterns, or other factors may be contributing to these elevated costs. So in our next steps, the Borough Council has invited JCP&L to send a representative to one of our upcoming council meetings to address these issues and provide further updates. So we understand the impact these issues have on our community, and we remain committed to keeping you informed as new developments arise. So that's all I have for public safety reports this evening. Bringing your concerns to the forefront, your councilman, always in your corner. Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. Public Works, Councilwoman Novak.
Well, I really like to thank the Public Works Department for making sure it didn't snow most of this winter. They really did a bang-up job with that. But as we all know, spring is arriving, thank the Lord. And the Parks Department is very busy. You know, they're trying to get all of these fields in order for all of the different sports, particularly baseball. I believe Little League opens April 4th. I mean, this is where Donna and I kind of overlap a lot, but you probably have the dates better than me. I just went to look it up. My phone went dead. Story of my life. The kids keep playing games on it all day. Other than that, I mean, if you have a sport and you want a particular field lined or whatever you need done special, please make sure you get to the Public Works Department and give them sufficient time to do it. They're not sitting around waiting for your phone call. They got a lot of things to schedule, so please get to them. Also, my favorite things. I actually, I haven't been getting a lot of answers as to my pet projects. I just keep hearing no's up here. But I did talk to a council person who explained to me why they were not in favor of Zoom calls. And I was very happy that they explained to me. I agree with them. And the problems that they see are the fact that people that are on Zoom, they don't identify themselves all the time. They don't have their cameras on. And I realize that there's a safety issue. We as a council really haven't had too much of a problem with that, but other, meetings have. So I'd like to see if there could be something that we could do. We could work with that. And then perhaps at a later date, go back to participation with the Zoom calls. Okay, Mayor? See, people talk to me, I listen. I'm not, thick-headed. But I will go now to my really pet project. I'd like to make a motion that I know it's not going to go anywhere, but still, I'd like to make a motion that we declare the firehouse, a historical location for the borough of Sayreville.
Motion made. Is there a second? Being no second, the motion does not carry.
Thank you. Okay.
Anything else, Councilwoman?
No, thank you very much, Mayor.
Okay. Water and Sewer, Councilman Sinarski.
Thank you, Mayor. Water and sewer, I made all the necessary appointments with David, and I will start doing tours as soon as the weather gets a little better. It's like, continues like today, we'll be out there. We had our first community garden meeting last Monday night. There's 42 plots available at $40 apiece. There's a meeting tomorrow night in room 308 at 7 o'clock here to discuss anybody that's interested in a plot. There'll be another freestanding meeting probably at the library where Anton's probably going to be at the library, and he'll be discussing everything that he does at the library. There'll be one more here later in the month if we don't get enough people on that. We're trying to work with the high school. We're trying to work with St. Stan's to get them plots in here. I think it's great for the kids to have something like that. That's the end of that on the community garden. The next day, we had the environmental commission meeting. It seemed like that's reestablished, and we have a bunch of good people involved in that, and I think that's going to go good this year. Other than that, it's the end of my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President, Recreation.
Thank you, Mayor. I went to a lot of meetings this past week. First, I'll start with rec. Summer camp information is available and registration begins on Monday, March 17th at CervalRec.com. Farmers Market on Wednesday, 3/12. We'll have live Irish music. That passed. No, 3/12 is coming up. Okay, all right. Live Irish music from 11 to 2 to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Easter egg hunt is April 12th, 9 a.m. sharp at Veterans Field, because at 9:02, everything is gone. And that'll be at the Blue Turf Field. Children's bingo, age 6 to 12, is March 25th, 6 to 8 p.m. Limited space pre-registration is required at CervalRec.com. Cultural Arts is currently working on their upcoming project. It's their second year, and they have a really good slate of projects that they want to present. So we're going to be looking forward to that. We're hoping for that master calendar of all the events from Rec and Cultural Arts and Human Relations Commission. At the library, they run a very tight ship over there, but I did want to highlight there's a big change that happened in the newspaper collection of popular newspapers out of print. Aziza, who is the librarian, quickly acted to activate the online subscription. Also, with Leah's approval, Aziza subscribed to the online news bank collection of 4,086 sources of newspapers, online full text with photographs. Patrons can use the service by authenticating with their library card in the library or remotely. So that'll be a good service, but it will be a challenge for those who are used to the print newspaper. But the library staff is there to help them if they need to. And then on the Human Relations Commission, we now had a quorum, so we were able to have our reorg meeting. We swore in new members, and Manesh, I want to congratulate Manesh Chitin, I can't say his last name. Manesh as the chairman, because he has experience behind him. Mindy will be the vice chair, and Lori Sinarski will be our secretary. So I'm looking forward to all the great programs that we have in our future, and spring looks like it's here. I hope it stays. Can we take a motion that spring stays and summer gets here? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. With that, general discussion items?
Coin toss request for the corner of Washington and Ernston Road received from Saraville Junior Bombers football on July 12th and 13th, and Saraville Junior Bombers cheer on August 9th and 10th.
Any objections? Next item?
Application for a special event from First Presbyterian Church to conduct a yard sale on April 26th, rain date May 3rd, and a flea market on September 13th, rain date September 20th on their property.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to award a contract to Starfire Corp. for their 2025 Independence Day fireworks display to be held on June 28th, rain date June 29th, in an amount not to exceed $17,000.
Any objection?
That's it for me.
Business
One
Administrator?
item, Mayor, authorization to appoint Sarah Logman and Linda Kelly as cashiers in the tax department effective March 16th, 2025.
Any objection?
Are they replacing somebody, Glenn, or they new hire?
When we replaced Danielle, it created a synergistic effect, so we're backfilling.
CFO's report?
Budget transfer resolution.
Okay. Borough Engineers report?
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item. The borough is installing a water main from the Bordentown Avenue Water Treatment Plant to Journey Mill Road that water main's going to have to cross the Jerry S. Complex property, which is on the Green Acres inventory. So we need to make an application to Green Acres to get approval for that, and there's a resolution needed to support that application. So we'd like that listed for the next meeting. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just going to report on the JCP&L issue, so we've already discussed it, so nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, this time I'm going to open the public portion for questions or comments on any and all issues. Jim?
Thank you, Mayor. Jim Robinson, Parlin. I was very happy to see that you went into executive session to discuss affordable housing. I'm assuming that's current numbers and future numbers, and that's a good thing so that we don't have the mess that we got into about 6 or 7 years ago, resulting in us building all these apartments. I would note this, that of the towns that successfully challenged their numbers, you know, the numbers you had to report January 31st, most of them were successful. In fact, Matt's Bridgewater, the former borough attorney's town, he challenged, I think he went from something like 475 to 400. So he got his number reduced by Sayreville opted not to challenge. So we'll see what happens. I want to talk about something that's concerned so many people lately. It's been given a name by a parent who contacted me, Goosegate. And as late as today, I saw a notice on Channel 15 that said, quote, none of the dead geese discovered in Kennedy Park tested positive for avian flu. What a relief, some might think. The truth is that none of the birds were tested, so none could have tested positive. I could say I never lost a bout to be the heavyweight champion of the world, or the administrator never lost a pageant to be Mr. Universe. Technically, both statements would be true, but those who know us might wonder about that. The fact is, no goose can test positive for a test it wasn't given. And I would like the borough, the mayor and council president, the folks in charge, to please set the record straight and finally tell the residents if the geese were tested. Yes or no? It's that simple. Was that deliberately misleading statement approved? And if so, who approved it? And what is the current number of dead geese? I know it was 6, then it was 7, wondering what it is now. And some tried to say that the misleading statement was suggested by the NJDEP. That's not true. You know I check into things. It is true there was no directive from DEP or any health authority that testing was necessary. But it is not true that the DEP suggested the borough put out the misleading statement. It did. And you folks up there know that employees were given PPEs before they handle a bird, so something was suspected. And I think the people deserve timely, truthful information. And when they are called out on misleading information, as my email to the administrator, that be corrected. We're entitled to that. Were the geese tested? We should know that, yes or no? And if they weren't, why put out that statement that said none tested positive? You know that's misleading, okay? And at the last meeting, I found the response that AI had blocked my emails to the mayor to be laughable, but I checked into it. The mayor already admitted that he blocked my phone calls, but the email was AI, I was told. So I did some homework. AI does not block things on its own. So it begs the question, out of tens of thousands of emails the mayor said he gets, why did it block mine? There must be direction, parameters, flags. I learned that government is using AI to monitor people's social media accounts. We know that his chief of staff has been monitoring mine, so I wondered what flags or keywords that AI might be told to look into to block a resident's email. I was told AI could search social media to see whatever you want to find. Who objects to pilots, who posted about the mayors calling senior citizens dopey a-holes or people without lives. AI could search social media for people who posted about the mayor's $88,000 dark money political account that is chaired by his chief of staff. AI could flag members of the public who objected to the mayor deriding and disrespecting senior citizens as he did last year and as he did again on February 10th. They were expressing concern about the tens of thousands of trees that have gone up. So is that what's being done? Was AI directed to reject the emails of people who object to, on social media, to the things that this administration is doing? I'd like to know that. You know, we spent $160,000 on new aides to, and the mayor, you said the reason we did that was so that they could answer your emails, tens of thousands of emails. But now we have AI to block emails from at least one person. Am I the only one, or were others blocked? Thank you very much.
Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, being no one else, a couple of comments. I wanted to talk about my chief of staff and my deputy chief of staff. My chief of staff, his name is Ken Kelly. He was my chief of staff in my third, fourth, and fifth term as a volunteer. And then we just have so many, we have a population of 45,000. We're a larger town now. And we need better customer service. Just to fill people in, Ken Kelly volunteered, and he was a medic in Vietnam during the Tet Offensive. And his job was to take care of the wounded soldiers and to take care of the dying soldiers. When he came home from Vietnam, he became a police officer and did so for over 30 years, most of the time as a detective. He is the past commander of the VFW. He has done most of the veterans monuments in town, and he is just a really outstanding guy. So for anyone to really cast any aspersions on his character, his patriotism, his dedication to country and community is just wrong. The second person that I have there currently is Andrew Orrs. Andrew left Poland when it was under communist rule. He landed at JFK Airport with about $100 in his pocket. He captured the American dream. He retired recently from a long career with the MCUA. And again, he embraced America. He embraced his new country. He is very, very active in his house of worship, in his church. But more than that, he has a son. And that son is a graduate of West Point and is currently an officer. And he currently teaches at West Point, as does his wife, who's a graduate of West Point. So the caliber and the quality of the staff down there is exemplary, and they take their jobs very seriously. Now, some people may just think we don't need them. Well, they should run for mayor, and then they can do what they want to do. But I believe that customer service is really what we're here for. Again, what we do is manage a small service business. We have about 300 employees. We do police, fire, and first aid. We do sanitation. We take care of 70 parks. We take care of the library. And we try to provide all of these services at a reasonable price. That being said, currently we have a person, Zach Schlicker, who served as a deputy chief last year. Prior to that, he had been chief of staff for an assembly person. He is very familiar with government. He has done so well. He has become a very important aide to our business administrator. And you know, there's a lot of things going on here in Sayreville, and you have to address them. So that being said, I'm very proud of the people that we employ. We have about 300 employees, and Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, they're here to answer your questions. So The other thing is, nobody would waste their time blocking anybody. I blocked Jim Robinson from my personal cell, my personal email, and my home phone number because I don't like him. And I have no interest in what he has to say. And I don't want to be disturbed in my private life. That being said, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Close the public portion and a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to close the public portion and adjourn.
Okay, just to wrap it up, on Zoom tonight, we had 9 people watching, 6 of them were employees, and on YouTube, we had 9, and in person, we had 2. So, Mary, when you talk about Zoom, I think the other thing I asked Ken Kelly, he is the liaison to the Veterans Alliance. And I said, do the veterans feel neglected? Is there something we are not doing? And he said, absolutely not. The veterans are very pleased with the governing body. And he feels that their needs are promptly addressed and promptly taken care of. So between the service we have here in the borough and the service that the county provides, there's no homeless, there should not be any homeless veterans, and any veteran with a need is promptly taken care of. So that being said, I wish everybody a good night, and we'll see you next meeting.
Second?
Just adjourn again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a motion to adjourn.
We even vote on closing the public portion?
We did.
We did? Okay, I missed that.
Opposed? All right, thanks, everyone.